Okay, hello everybody. So again, this is one of those horrid videos where I have to ask for support and help. Please watch the video, even if you don't decide to support and watch it, because I'm going to make this one a little more transparent and probably more interesting as well, especially if you like anything to do with medical stuff. I'm going to take you through exactly what I do daily for my illness, and I'm going to explain all that. First of all, I just want to say thanks for everybody who supports the Sound Test Stream in all the different ways. The amazing Patreon support, the people who donated, the people who donated last year, the people who donated the year before. You know, I try to only do this a couple of times a year, and it tends to work out like around November, April, May. Things just get beyond mine and Joe's control. It's variable income. Now, at this point, some people will be saying, well, it's variable, stop doing that, go out and get a job. I can't. And I'll explain exactly why I can't as well. Okay? For medical reasons, I cannot work. And people, and the option was, well, then if you can't work, surely you can get benefit. No. Because the government assessed me and said, I can work. And the doctor says, no, he can't. They said, yeah, he can. So what do? You're left in a situation where I decided to go self-employed and do this instead of doing nothing. Because the only other option that they gave me was this. They said, well, okay, well, we can still pay you benefits, but it's pointless having any other income because you won't get any benefits, and you have to go out and look for a job. And I'm like, well, I can't look for a job. But they said you can. But look, my doctor said you can't. And it went round and round. So I thought, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do YouTube as a job. Okay. So the income that we get is from YouTube ad revenue, which is rubbish, really. If you think about it, my channel does probably between 8 and 12,000 views. 8 and 12,000 views every single day. That generates £10. Except at Christmas, when it generates a little bit more because people pay more for ads. Okay, so that's 18. That's a lot of views, isn't it? Really, for a niche channel. And yeah. So iTunes affiliate clicky thing. You know, if someone clicks on a link, I get a percentage from Apple. Depending on the market, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's £10 a day, sometimes it's £1.50 a day. You know, you can't. There's no sort of thing. And then the other one is Patreon support. That's a really good one to do. It costs you $1 a month if you wanted to do that. Listen, for anything like this, I'm going to stick links in below. If you want to donate anything, please, even if it's a couple of dollars, it all helps. I've got to pay rent in 5 days, and I just haven't got it because I've had to pay other bills and stuff that just have to be paid. And you know, like I said, the output. We work really hard at this. We put videos out every single day. So what do I stop doing this? Do I just go on the dole? I can't go on the dole because I can't go out and get a job. I'll explain this. I'll tell you exactly why I can't work, and you'll see. You'll see straight away. It's great. It's a mad system. But I thought, well, look, you know, I'm happy. I'm a happy person, and I love my life. I love Joe, the kids. We're happy, but we need to survive, obviously. And the only way we can survive is with the community. Thank God I can do what I do with the apps and stuff, because otherwise I would be, I don't know, what would we do? You know, what would the poor people do, who haven't got something like this to fall back on? What do they do? It's shocking, man, seriously. Look, anyway, my problem is this, right, why I can't go and do this, that and the other. So let me get a drink of water. I have about 5 things the matter with me, right? Sympathy. Illnesses happen to people, you know. It's not. Oh God, there's a lot of people worse off than me. But here's the thing: my primary illness is a thing called autoimmune pancreatitis, or AIP. But you look it up on the internet. It's rare, because when you first start getting the symptoms, and the symptoms for this are not very nice. The pancreas inflames and swells up a little bit. But it looks like cancer. It looks like pancreatic cancer. That's how it presents itself, and that's how it feels. The pain is tremendously bad, and it causes all sorts of other stuff. So you kind of your water, your urine goes like really dark, like tea, and your other stuff, your stool goes light like straw, because your pancreas is pressed on. I don't know, it presses on your bile duct or something and causes all sorts of weird issues. Also, it caused me to be diabetic as well, and so I've got diabetes and this bloody autoimmune pancreatitis thing, right? I've also got malignant hypertension, which is high blood pressure. Oh, and so do you know what? See, there's so many. It's 5 things. Oh, wet macular degeneration in this eye here, which means I have warped and distorted vision in this eye, and I see two of everything. So when I'm like doing like close-up work with apps, and I tend to be like this. But that's okay. But they can't. They tried fixing it with prisms. Okay, but they couldn't. They couldn't do it because of the warp sort of thing. Anyway, so like the other options are injections. They can give me injections in my eye when it starts to, but they can't do that yet because it hasn't gone into the centre, and that will slow it down. I'll go blind in that eye eventually, but that will slow it. The injections will slow it down. And then I have COPD, coronary obstructive pulmonary disease or something. They're not really sure if it's asthma or COPD. Anyway, that's the thing, right? All this is now. A few weeks ago, I had a terrible flare up. If you were a Patreon watching this, you'll know that I had a pancreas flare up. It's the pain is just it's shocking, and then all the other horrible symptoms that go with it. So that's great. So when that happens, right? So primarily, this is my pancreas problem. They give me this drug here. Let's find it now. I've got all my drugs to show you as well, so I'm going to try to make it fairly informative. So I take these, right? This is called mycophenolate, and these are. I'm going to show you. Let me do this. What shall I do for this first? Let me take my tablets for today. I'll show you what I take. This is the tablet regime for now in the morning. Okay, so they're these. Oh, you can't see, can you? Here we go. All those. Now, let me just run through them one by one as I take them. That's my water. My mouth's very dry now because of the thing. Right, so this is the mycophenolate. This is a drug they give to heart transplant patients or people who have had organ transplants to stop their body rejecting the new organ. So this theoretically stops my body rejecting my pancreas, which it thinks it doesn't want. It wants to kill me, basically. So I'll take one of these. This thing is a Calcios. Now, I have to take one of these at the moment because I'm on steroids again now. It's quite nice. This one is called metformin. It's for diabetes. This one is called indapamide. This one is for my blood pressure. This one is called Ramipril, also for my blood pressure. And these little two are called gliclazide, and they're also for my diabetes. Ooh. I've dropped one now. Hang on. Oh, I don't know. Where is it? to me. What's it? Oh, right. So that's good. So also for my diabetes, what I have to do is take my blood sugars. So we should do that now. Right, my blood sugars. Where is it? Yeah. So I take for my diabetes. I take my blood sugar levels every day, 4 times a day at the moment. 4 times a day. My fingers are killing me, I tell you. Seriously, it's not good as a keyboard player, that ain't. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to see what they are. So I have these little. So you get this little thing, this little needle puncher thing. So you put these needles in. Told you it'd be interesting, didn't I? And that little titchy needle, little tiny. Don't know if you can see it because of the resolution. You do this, and what you do is you pull this thing back like that, and fire it into your finger, and it pricks your finger, and you get a little bit of blood in you. If you don't like blood now, look away, look away. Okay, so you get these little test strip things, and then you insert the end of the test strip into the machine like this. Now, before I put this in, because I need to do it quick with this, my normal person's between 4 and 6. Okay, 4 and 6, that's good. Anything over that, your blood sugars are too high. At the moment, mine haven't been below 15.8 for weeks. 15.8, you feel like pants, man. Seriously. So 15.8. So let's see what they are. And first of all, as well, I'll also tell you my diet is amazing. They're very low carb because of the diabetes. Very low carbs. Don't have rice and stuff. Joe cooks quinoa, bulgur wheat. Oh no, drop that now. Get another test strip out. Bulgur wheat. Fresh vegetables, but look, there's certainly certain types of vegetables. Can't have potatoes. I haven't seen a potato for months. So like sweet potatoes, surprisingly brilliant, and kale and all that. My diet is incredible. Trust me, there's no sugar in that diet. So here we go. Let's see what this is, shall we? So what will happen is this will light up like this, and it'll say to put the what's it in the end. So you just prick your finger with it. And then you get a little tiny bit, I don't know if you can see, but you get a little tiny bit of blood at the end of your finger. And then you just, and it makes that blippy noise. Let me see what it is. 22.7. 22.7. Seriously, that's high. That's really high. See, this is at the point now where I have to go downstairs, pee on a test strip to see if there's any ketones in me wee. Oh, anyway, probably I'd have to phone the doctors when it gets so high. Anyway, there's that. I thought it'd be about 15. Right, so anyway, I'll get rid of this as well. To put them in my sharps box thing. So then there's that. So that's the blood thing. So this, what I have to do now is, I'm not going to do this now, but what I'm going to do in the evenings is, can't find it now, have insulin. Oh, I haven't brought that with me. I have an insulin pen, a stick, a needle, an injection. I have an insulin injection every evening. Joe does that. I think it's at 14 or 15 points on the thing if you know anything about it. And that just, I can't show you the thing, but it's just a little needle screws into the end of this device. You screw up the amount of insulin you want to, and it's injected just below your belly button. Joe does that every night for me, as well as managing all the rest of this stuff, which is beyond me thing. Okay, so moving swiftly on. for my asthma and that, this is another blinking steroid though. You see, this is the problem. Now, the reason my bloods are so high is because when my pancreas flared up a few weeks ago, the pain is incredible. And the only thing that they know will calm it down are steroids. So they put me back on high doses of steroids. I'm still on 5 a day now. So I take them in the evening with my tea, and that's what's causing the massive spikes in the bloods. Just forget the sugar or anything like that. It's nothing to do with that, because my pancreas isn't working properly. They're just freaking it out. So that's that. So we've looked at my indapamide, which is the blood tablets, one of the blood tablets. These are the no more steroids. In the evenings, I take another one called doxazosine. That's for my blood pressure as well. Then these are the Ramipril blood ones. There's me mycophenolate for me thing. I take another one of them in the evening. There's me metformin. I take 3 metformin a day, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening. There's me glycoside. And I take in the evening also a statin for my cholesterol. Also, all this nonsense causes chronic heartburn. So I have to take that for that. And for the pain management, when the pancreas is because I'll come off the steroids and then they'll eventually get me down to 1 steroid a day, and then they'll scan me again, and then they may send me for another. They stick a tube down your throat and snip a bit off your pancreas. It's not as bad as it sounds, actually. And I'm prescribed to Cocodamol for the pain, basically. So all this stuff makes me feel. Let me just take this. I have to take this twice a day, but I have to do it with a spacer. So it's a June. There's that. Because that's a steroid. You have to wash that down with water, because if it sticks at the back of your throat, it can cause thrush on the back of your throat. Anyway, there's that. Oh, one last thing. Hey, this is brilliant. I love this one. This is great. Now, you see how happy I am. I love talking to you. It makes me feel better. I can't imagine doing anything other than this now. And since I can't go out and do anything other than that, I'm just... Well, like I said, my options are kind of limited, you know. And Joe works really hard. You don't know. Anyway, look, so really, here we go. This one is great. This is also for my COPD asthma thing. I'm not sure what it is. I think they recategorised it as asthma. But this little thing, this is new. It's quite interesting, right? So what you do is there's like this little thing. And it's like, I don't know if you can see because of the light, but it's weird. You put this plastic tablet in here, and it's like this little plastic capsule, right? You only take one of these a day, but you don't take one. But it's like this little plastic capsule filled with powder, and it goes in this machine here, like that. I don't know if you can see. And you close it, and there's 2 little things here. You just and it pierces the end of the capsule. Listen, when I take it, it whizzes round. Sorry. And then you take it. Then what you've done is inhaled all the powder from inside the capsule, and it works over 24 hours, opening things and stuff. It's really, really good. It's really, really good, the Sea Breeze. It's really great. So anyway, the thing was, right. Anyway, back to the whole point of it. Oh, 20 minutes. I'm sorry. You've probably all gone now anyway. It doesn't matter. But if you want to help support, the Patreon is a great way, but a donation is amazing. You know, especially over the next few days, please, that if you could, even a couple of dollars, lots of people do it, and it's massive help and support. We can't survive without the community. I can't do it for the reasons I've explained. I can't go out. Half the time I can't go out on my own. I can't see. Here's the right. Listen to this, right. So, because I've got this wet macular degeneration, if you get contacts won't work. Where's one in one eye, one in the other. So they decided now that's not right. So this is the solution to my eye issues now. These are mid-distance, right? These are if I want to read close up like that, like an instruction manual or the iPad's controls. And these are just general everyday, out just watching the telly or, you know, going outside and stuff like that. I tell you, you don't know. It's actually laughable, isn't it? Really, I think it is. I wouldn't laugh, I'd cry. But we're positive. Me and Joe are both positive people. You know, we don't let the illness and the things and the money, we don't let it get us down. It's just that we can't, there's no other options, you know what I mean? You can't just, it doesn't work. To be honest with you, patronage is brilliant. That's gone up loads. So things are getting better and better and better over time. But it's such a slow process. And of course, you're not guaranteed any money from these sources. You know, you can't guarantee that people are going to watch your videos. I mean, not many. I mean, realistically, view counts on each video aren't massive anyway. I mean, you know, if I get 500, 600 views, if I get 100, Jacob Hack will tell you, if I get 100 views, I'm happy. At least if some people. I'll tell you what. On the YouTube thing, if you may have noticed that I'm doing more kind of tutorial type videos. So I think it doesn't make any difference to the views or anything. In fact, it's harder actually because I can only do one a day. But they're quite interesting and people seem to like them and find something useful. Of course, I'll still do synth videos as well. Of course, if I can get over this stupid initial crisis that now is, you know, rears its ugly head every now and then, where you think, oh, I haven't got enough money to do this, you know. What I'd really like to do is get out the overdrafts, you know, but what can you do? What can you do? You can't say to people, you know, well under minimum wage, well under. So that minimum wage is boosted back up by some working tax credit, because I'm fully, this is a business. I refuse to be beaten by people saying, no, you know, you can't do this and you can't do that. If I can do something, I will do it. And I need to remain positive and happy. Me and Joe are positive, happy people. As anybody who knows us knows as well on Patreon and stuff will know. So, and yeah, I really hope I give value for money. I've bought, look, 23 minutes, 57 seconds. In all seriousness, it's like one of my solos. So that's what happens with progressive rock, isn't it? Seriously. But please, guys, I can't tell you how important it would be to just bung a few quid in the pot. There'll be links in the description, Patreon and PayPal donate, which is it'll come up as to Joe, and it goes into our PayPal account. You know, the support is massive and needed, and I'm very privileged and lucky to be able to do this for you and to get the support from the community that I get. So, you know, I don't want to, this is not a depressing video. I hope it was entertaining in some way with all the medical stuff and things, and maybe give you an idea of why it's impossible for me to, you know, go and actually do it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine, eh? Because at any time, at any one moment, I just go down, bang. I have to stop. pain, just nausea. You know, sit the toilet. It's not great, some of it, but it's not, you know, it's manageable with the drugs. But if you're interested, look up autoimmune pancreatitis. There are a couple of studies, not many. There aren't many people that have. It's quite rare because there are two types. It's quite rare because it's hard to diagnose. But anyway, I think I've covered everything. I bless you all, and I really need some support, guys. So, you know, I'm trying to do this a couple of times a year. I don't want to be a pain in the butt. Right. But I hope you understand a little bit more about the situation and why it's difficult. Okay. Thank you. And normal service will be free. I've got to take a couple of days anyway, because I'm exhausted and I need to have a bit of a break, you know. I haven't had a blinking holiday since 2012. 2014. 2012. And that was only a one-night stay at Land's End. Mine and Joe's honeymoon. Right. Anyway, listen, I've got to take a couple of days just to recoup. And normal service will be resumed. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you later.